Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to be looking at adding or subtracting fractions. So, let's say we want to add 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5. To help us visualize this, let's draw this out. 1 out of 5, I'm going to shade in 1 out of my 5 boxes here. 2 out of 5, I'm going to shade in 2 out of my 5 boxes here. And now, if I add this together, I'm going to be shading in 3 out of my 5 boxes total. Let's take a look at another example here. 1 out of 5 plus 1 out of 10. So here I have 10 boxes total. To get 1 out of 5, if I break this up into 5 sections, one out of 5, I'm just going to shade in 1 out of my 5 sections here. Or 2 out of my 10 boxes total. One out of 10, I'm just going to shade in 1 out of my 10 boxes here. And now, if I add this up, you'll see that I've shaded in 3 out of 10 boxes total. Let's take a look at one more example like this. 1/3 plus 3 over 4. Okay, so here I have 12 boxes. 1/3, well, if I break this up into 3 parts, 1/3, I can just shade in one section out of these 3. And now 3/4, right? If I break this up into 4, if I break this next shape up into 4 parts, I just need to shade in 3 out of my 4 sections here. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so 1/3. Here, I'm just shading in 4 out of my 12 boxes. And 3/4, I'm just shading in 9 out of my 12 boxes here. And now, if I add this up, okay, I shaded in 4 boxes here and plus 9 boxes here. That gives me 13 total. 13 over 12. So, you might have noticed a few things when I was adding these fractions together. So first, I made the denominators the same. Right, in all these examples, I converted these fractions so that the denominators are the same. Another thing you might have noticed is when my denominators were the same, I just added my numerators together. Right, and that's the idea, right? When we're adding or subtracting fractions, right, we want to make the denominators the same. Let's take a look at some more examples here. 3 over 7 plus 2 over 7. In this example, my denominators are the same. So what can I do? All I need to do is just add my numerators together. 3 plus 2, that gives me 5. So if I add this together, 3 over 7 plus 2 over 7 gives me 5 over 7. Okay, next one here. 2 over 5 plus 3 over 10. This time, though, my denominators here are not the same. Right here, my denominator is 5. But here, my denominator is 10. So what I need to do then is I need to make my denominators the same. And how can I do that? Well, something I'll notice here is I can multiply this 5 here by 2. If I multiply this 5 by 2, then I'll get 10. And my denominators will be the same. And here, if I multiply this denominator by 2, I have to multiply the numerator by 2 as well to make the fractions equivalent. And now if I do this, okay, 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 2 is 10, so just get 4 over 10 plus 3 over 10. 4 over 10 plus 3 over 10 is 7 over 10. Let's do one more example. So this last example, we have 2/3 minus 5 over 7. And I just want to highlight these denominators here, 3 and 7. So I need to think about, how can I make these denominators the same? What could I multiply them by to make the denominators the same? Well, say I multiplied this one here by 7, and I multiplied this one here by 3. Then 3 times 7 gives me 21, and also 7 times 3 gives me 21. And so now both of them would have a denominator of 21. Right, so all we have to do is you just need to think about in these problems, what can we multiply, right? What can we multiply these by to make the denominators the same? Right, that's all we have to do. And another way you can think about this as well is my denominators here, 3 and 7, they both go into 21. So that's another way you can think of this as well. And now, of course, here, if I multiply the denominator by 7, I have to multiply the numerator by 7 as well. Same thing here. If I multiply the denominator by 3, I have to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. 2 times 7 gives me 14. Here. 3 times 7 gives me 21. Minus 5 times 3 gives me 15. And then 7 times 3 gives me 21. 14 over 21 minus 15 over 21. Well, 14 minus 15 is just negative 1. So this just equals negative 1 over 21. And there we go. So again, the idea is when you're adding or subtracting fractions, you want to make the denominators the same.